Alright everybody, welcome back to Dave's Open Range. Tonight we're going to try a little experiment with something I haven't used in a long time. We're going to make a Tex Mex Spam rice stir fry thing, and it's going to be great. Even if it's bad, it'll be great. So we'll stick with me till the end and we'll taste test it, see how it turns out. It's going to be Spam and onion. I got an onion sauteing. We'll see if we can get it out of the can on camera. I hear that can be a little bit of an adventure. We're going to use hominy, which is a form of corn, and it's a bit Mexican in my opinion. And some petite diced tomatoes and some Mexican spices and some pre-cooked rice. And let's get started with getting the Spam out. We're going to dice it up and saute it, and then we'll take it from there. Okay, let's get this out of the can, or at least try to. I hear it can be tough to get it out of there in one big hunk, but I bet you we can do it. I'm just going to squeeze the can around a little bit, see if we can't get it to slither out of there. Might have to give it a little help with this fork, or oh, there, no problem. No problem at all. So I'm just going to dice it up in standard cubes, and I'm going to put a pretty good brown on it. I'll get it into the skillet. You don't need to watch it. You don't need to watch me brown it, but I'm going to hopefully saute it up to where it's nice and browned so that it's even got a little crisp on it, but I'm not sure. It's been forever since I've used it, and I'm not exactly positive it'll get that way, but I think it will. And then once it's all browned up, we'll get the rest of the stuff in there and finish it off. The rice is pre-cooked. It's white basmati rice, which is my standard go-to. Between that or basmati brown rice. So standard cube here. Let's just throw it in the skillet, and then I'll brown it for a few minutes, and then we'll pick up from that. Okay, we've got the Spam and the onion going. The onion had about a 3 or 4 minute head start, because I do like the onions to be nice and well cooked, even brown. I got it on fairly high heat, not quite full blast, but close. See if we can get a little brown on the Spam, and then start adding stuff to it. One of these days we'll cook something healthy on this channel, but so far no such luck. Spam's not particularly healthy, but I think this will be good. Kind of a shot in the dark. This can of Spam was a Christmas present, if you can believe that, so we're going to make use of that Christmas present here in the month of May, and go from there. Like I said, we're going to put some hominy in there, and if you haven't tried hominy, I would suggest you do. It's really good. It's kind of like corn nuts, except not crunchy. Can of petite diced tomatoes, and we're going to do standard chili powder and ancho, and probably some cumin and pepper. Probably not much salt, because I presume the Spam is pretty salty. So I'm going to just let that sit. I'm not going to mess with it too much. I haven't put any salt in there. I just said that because I think the Spam's going to be a little salty. So we'll add some pepper and cumin and spices when that's brown, and then we'll start to add the other ingredients. I'm going to when I put the tomatoes in, I'm going to let some of that liquid cook off, because I don't really want it to be soupy or stewy. And then we'll throw the rice in and toss it around, and put a little cheese on it perhaps, and give it a shot. Okay, I think we've got things browned up to where it should be nice and crisped up. As you can see, the onions are nice and brown, and the Spam is crisped up on most surfaces. I'm going to turn the heat down just for a minute, and I'm going to add, I tested that Spam, and it is pretty salty, so confirm no salt. Some standard black pepper, and about half a teaspoon of cumin. I like cumin a lot, and just standard chili powder, maybe a tablespoon, and some ancho, which is, I'm sure, in chili powder, but ancho's got a nice flavor with no heat in it. So there's basically no heat in there, maybe a heavy teaspoon or a tablespoon of that. Just kick that around a little bit and let the spices cook a bit. That's got some great flavor. Now I'm going to put the tomatoes in there next, and just let that liquid mostly cook off, so I don't really want it stewy. And then we'll have some pretty quick. Got a nice dark burgundy, rich looking flavor. That's going to be good. That looks good. I'm going to put the hominy in there next, and then toss the rice. And we're going to call it good. Now, if you stay till the end, you're going to see me taste test it, and we'll see how this turns out. So I'm just going to turn the heat back up and let that tomato liquid cook off. And it's almost there already. So I'm going to just throw the hominy in there. There's a fair amount of liquid in there. I did drain it loosely, coarsely. And toss that around. My prediction is this is going to be good. I lost a piece. Get back in there. Kick that around a bit and just let it heat it all up, and then in goes the rice. We'll toss it. And I just realized I don't think we have any cheddar cheese, but it'd be good with a big splash of cheddar cheese on top. And the big question is whether this goes on a plate or in a bowl. And I think it goes in a bowl. We'll see. We'll see how thick it is when it's, I have a feeling when the rice is in there and it's all mixed together, it's going to be a little bit like Asian food, basically, in terms of the consistency. So it smells like it's the right spices. There's no heat in there. It's just got a nice Tex Mex aroma. You can smell that corn in there, that hominy. It's got a nice aroma. So I'm gonna cook that a bit. Now I cooked this rice about half an hour ago, so it's pre-cooked and lukewarm, but it's just gonna soak up all that liquid and make it perfect. So let's see how much liquid we got residual there. I think I'm gonna put the rice in there now. Maybe you can see it's a little bit wet, but there's no standing liquid in there. So in goes the rice, and that's just gonna bring it all together and soak up whatever liquid's in there. It's almost a little bit like jambalaya. Call it Mexican jambalaya. Maybe that'll be the name of this. I don't know. That looks really good to me. So let me just let that cook for a minute. And that's basically done, but I'm going to let it cook for a minute, and then I'll bring you back and we'll taste it and give it a quick review and see if this was a success or never try that again. We'll see. Check back in a minute. Okay, it had cooked for maybe 2 minutes, and let's plate a little bit of it up. I'm just going to taste it for y'all and see success or failure. I'm going to put just a little red pepper flake on mine. I usually like things a little bit spicy, so I think it's got the right look. Like I said, it looks a bit like jambalaya. That's a good sign. So it's going to be hot. I like the smell of that hominy in there. It smells like it's got all the right seasonings. That's a winner. That's really good. Sort of like a Mexican jambalaya is the best way I can describe that. Might even be good with some chicken in there, but spam's what we got. That's a winner, folks. All right, well, we'll see you next time. That was an experiment in real time. I think it worked out all right. So you never know what you're going to find on the channel. Subscribe, like, and comment. Thanks again, and see you next time.